My name is Åsa Melander, and I've just completed a PhD at the University of Roehampton in Education Equity, Policy and High Achievement. I've also just published the article Distributive Values and Disadvantaged Potential High Achievers. My article looks into a framework presented by Harry Brighouse, Helen Ladd, Susanna Loeb and Adam Swift in their book Educational Goods. Their framework assesses fairness in education policy using the values of adequacy, equality and benefiting the less advantaged. What are these values? Adequacy means that everyone should receive enough educational goods, but it doesn't matter if some groups get more as long as everyone is sufficiently provided for. Equality means an aim for a more equal distribution of educational goods. This is difficult to achieve because children from resourceful families will always have more based on their more privileged background. And benefiting the less advantaged focuses on longer-term outcomes and wants to ensure that over time the less advantaged get more. My perspective is the consequences of this framework for what I call disadvantaged potential high achievers. Who are they? Some children have the potential to learn things more easily than the majority of other children. Some of these children are also disadvantaged. So I'm thinking about students who should stand a good chance of getting good academic results, but who are disadvantaged when it comes to social background, for example. Like I just mentioned, being a disadvantaged potential high achiever is different to being a potential high achiever with a more advantageous starting point. The former group is less likely to get additional stimuli and support in their home. But in a society that aspires to being meritocratic, everyone should have equitable opportunities to higher education and flourishing in life. There is often an automatic objection here. If there are students who do not meet the floor targets, why should resources be allocated to support disadvantaged students who could do better but who appear to get by anyway? Here, the basic assumption must be that aspirations for equity must cover all students and that this must include potential high achievers. So one issue of justice or equity in education is the unequal achievement between students with high and low socioeconomic status, and the lack of support to them should be addressed. So both issues and perspectives are worth consideration. I want to stress here that I align myself to a paradigm that focuses on need for challenge more than an absolute belief in any natural high ability, which is a disputed concept even after a century of research. So for the sake of this article, it is enough to note that some children find some things much easier to learn than the majority, whether it comes to playing football, learning French or solving a mathematical puzzle. So some disadvantaged students would have attained better if they had belonged to a higher socioeconomic group. In the framework presented by Brighouse et al., what are the consequences for them? When I analysed the framework, I found that disadvantaged potential high achievers may be denied fair challenge in education systems that focus on either of these values, adequacy, equality, or benefiting the less advantaged. However, if equality were implemented based on its actual principles, it could be a better foundation for fair challenge than the other ones, if equality were applied in relation to all disadvantaged students. It often isn't, for reasons mentioned already. So to apply equality fairly, measures may be needed to ensure that it is implemented fairly and that there is active recognition that disadvantaged potential high achievers deserve suitable challenge just like any other students, and that is often not recognised. If you found this interesting, I encourage you to read the full paper. Thank you very much for listening.